Hey, high levelers, Rio Daniel here. And in this video, what I want to do is give you an update about one of the new features that Highlevel has just released, and that is custom field for companies. Now, this is something that companies has been around for quite a while, but right now people have been very frustrated because as a company, you can fill out a company information and then tie a company to a particular employee, or sorry, a contact, but then you could tie multiple contacts to the same company record. But the problem is just like anything else, you haven't been able to extend it. You haven't been able to sit back and extend the schema to give additional information beyond like the 10 different fields that Highlevel created initially. So right now, what I want to do is create this video to show you this new feature, but also explain some of the good and unfortunately the bad that is a part of this, at least for right now. So right now, let's hop into it and take a look and see what we got. Okay, so right now, here we go inside of one of our demo accounts. Now, just a couple things I want to sit back and show you here. I want to stop and just pause and give you just a brief history of the custom fields itself. Now, originally, custom fields was created for the contact record. The contact record is the main CRM record object that actually exists that you can start extending and put additional information in there. And we've all kind of done that if you've worked with Highlevel at all to add additional fields to the contact record. Now, beyond that, we've had a need to extend the opportunities inside the pipeline so that as you get an opportunity lead, now you want to sit back and track additional information regarding that opportunity. Then Highlevel extended that quite a while ago so that custom fields not only can be applied to contacts, but can also be applied to opportunities. Then let's move forward again a little bit. Probably a couple months ago where Highlevel released custom objects. Now this is back when the Highlevel Summit happened back in like October area of 2024 during the summit where they're like, hey, now we have custom objects. These custom objects, now you can literally have a true CRM system where now you're just not dealing with context, you're actually dealing with custom objects and you're dealing with any object that you feel like you ever wanted to create, you can create. And now you can also add custom fields to extend that custom object to include additional information about that. And I'm going to go over that very briefly in this, just to give you guys an idea. I already have a whole other video on my YouTube channel regarding custom objects, if you're really that interested. But this is a progression that custom fields have made over the lifetime of Highlevel. Now, what we're at here is over the last, let's just say 30 days, Highlevel has now released custom fields available to the company object. Now, the company object is something that, again, has already existed for quite a while, but it has not had the ability to be extended. So right now, let me go ahead and hop in and show you some of these things. But first, let me backtrack and show you some of the things I've already talked about here. But first of all, I want to show you our custom objects. Now, custom objects are something that people really have a hard time visualizing and understanding what it is. But keep in mind, an object is anything that you can define inside of Highlevel. A calendar is an object. A contact is an object. An opportunity is an object. Now, likewise, if we take a look here, I've actually, this is one of my demo companies. It's an HVAC company. So if you can imagine, an HVAC company would have trucks that they would have in order to have their technicians go out with the company logo on there, things like that. So a vehicle could be a custom object that you can create for a particular client. And now you can start defining categories or custom fields regarding that vehicle that now you can start keeping track of. So here's one of the things I did create. And if you take a look here, notice that you do have vehicles and you have this nice little sign right here. So this right here is a custom object. And right now what we're going to do is just come over here to the settings area and we're going to come down here to the objects and notice that we have this vehicle. So vehicles is a custom object that we created. If we click on that, these are just the object itself. But if we come into custom fields inside of this area, this is where we can start seeing all the custom fields associating with those particular. So if it's related to a contact object, then it'll say contact. Now, what I want to show you here is this column right here where it says object. So the object is the object that the custom field is connected to. So right now the vehicle, notice that we have a VIN number. So that would be a unique identifier of a vehicle would be a VIN number. Also something else about a vehicle would be the technician vehicle. Maybe you would keep track of the technician. You'd also be able to keep track of like last oil change or last maintenance odometer reading, just things like that. But these are all things that you see right here that are objects that these are custom fields that are tied to this particular object type. Now, here are some of the other things. These are tied to opportunities. And then as you move on, you'll find other ones tied to contacts and so forth. So this is pretty exciting. Custom fields really makes a CRM extendable and it really makes it very informative because you're allowed to extend the schema to basically keep track of any piece of information that you really want to keep track of. And not only that, now that custom field is available inside of your workflows. So now you can put in there, let's just say we want to do like last maintenance odometer or something like that, the last maintenance odometer reading. And you can just simply use that as a measurement to say, if the last maintenance odometer reading is greater than 60,000, let's just say 60,000 miles, then move down this workflow where you might be able to do something like, hey, contact the maintenance supervisor and have this truck looked at for some of these other maintenance type cycles. So that's just an example of just something that you can do behind the scenes that really has nothing to do with lead generation or money or things like that. But what it has something to do with is being able to keep track of data inside of Highlevel and then perform automations on these objects that help the business out eventually be successful. Because right now, you don't need to keep the client that you have, for instance, this HVAC company doesn't need to have any kind of vehicle maintenance tracking system that it has to pay for to keep track of all the stuff inside of the CRM regarding the vehicles, because now you can put it all inside of here. So again, enough about custom objects, enough about vehicles, things like that. Let's go ahead and hop into companies and deal with company custom fields. So right now, if we take a look here, these are one of the areas that I really enjoy about Highlevel is the ability to create folders inside of custom fields. Now, if you ever take a look at a contact record or an object, one of the nice things about having folders is this way of combining all of the custom fields into one area where it could be hidden, meaning it could be collapsed inside of that object and you don't have to look at the data unless you expand it. So right now, if we take a look at the contact object, we see right here, there are 3 folders: contact, general info, and additional info. If you've dealt with any contact records, you know that these are the 3 basic areas of the contact field that you can store custom fields in by default. Now, if you put everything at the contact level, that's really going to suck because everything is going to be at that root level of the contact and you're going to have tons and tons. You're going to be scrolling all the way down, seeing all of this other custom field information that you don't need to see normally inside of your CRM. So right now, I'd have to highly recommend that you start building folders and then start moving these custom fields inside of the folders so that you can just simply keep track of specific type of information here. So right now, again, if we just real quick want to take a look back at the vehicle, notice that there is one for vehicle info where all of the information regarding that vehicle is under the vehicle info. So it's not under the vehicle. So there is a folder that you can sit back and expand that you can see all the information and it won't be at the root of the object. So anyway, let's pop back over here and take a look at company. Now there is one default folder with regards to company fields, and that's called company info. Now, if you take a look, there are 10 fields associated with this. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at this. So if we come over here to the context area and up here at the top, if we go to over here, we can scroll over to company. This is where all the company information is. Notice we don't have any, and I'm going to show you how you can quickly populate all of your company information inside here very quickly from all of your CRM records. So hold on a minute and I'll show you how to do that. So right now, if you click on add company, notice over here, we've got just company name, phone, email, all the things about the company that we want to keep track of. Now, also, if you want to come in here and take a look at the contact record itself, you can come here to company. If you click here and just click add company, this gives you a little bit of a better form that you can see. But this right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are the 10 fields that were defined in custom objects. But up to this point, these are the only 10 that you're allowed to have because you weren't allowed at this point until Highlevel extended the custom fields to include company. You weren't allowed to sit back and extend that. So right now, again, this is what we're doing. This is what this video is about, just to show you how you can extend that and so forth. So right now, before I go into that, what I want to do is show you this little trick, if you don't already know, of how you can pre-populate all of your companies here. Now, again, let's just assume that you have 10, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of contacts inside of your CRM system. And each one of these people could have their information already displayed. So if we take a look here, notice on this one here, one of the things that we've got is the business name. Notice that this business name here is already pre-populated. But right now, this is the business name, but notice over here on the company, there are no companies identified with that company name. That's a problem. So if you want to start using companies, one of the quick, easy, and really great ways that you can use this is to sit back and go into your settings. Then what you're going to do is come all the way to the bottom here and go to companies. Now, if you take a look, that's always here at the bottom, companies. And what you're going to do is you're going to come here and check this little box. It says create and associate companies. Let me click no real quick. Create and associate companies with contacts. Now, if you do this, what this is going to do is going to create companies and then associate those companies with contacts for every business name that matches inside of your CRM system. Please be careful about this. This is a good thing and a bad thing. Good thing is that if we check this, and I'm going to show you this, retroactively create company records for all existing contacts. The system will begin creating company records associating existing companies based upon the business name field. Now, this is the business name field. Now, assuming you have a company called ABC LLC. Okay, that is, for one contact, that would be the business name. But for another contact, you would just have ABC. You wouldn't have ABC LLC. Now, this is two different names. Okay. So likewise, you would create two different company records instead of one. So this is where it becomes a problem when you do this, because if you do click yes, which I'm going to do, then what it will do is it will go through Highlevel will go through all of your contact records. It'll go through all of the business names, and then it will create companies based upon that business name and automatically associate that company with that contact record inside of your CRM system. Now, this is a huge help. This is huge. This could save hours and thousands of dollars worth of effort to have somebody go through and do this. So right now, what I want to do is go ahead and refresh this. And right now, what we should do is come back and see, okay, it looks like it hasn't run yet. But right now, if we take a look here, we do have this one person here with this company right here. And right now, if we take a look here, and again, sometimes this could take a little bit. And of course, right now during the demo, it's not behaving very well. But right now, if you take a look at this, it should create the ABC shell company inside of here. All the companies should be created. I'm not exactly sure why this is not. Let me try it just one more time. This is already here. So again, we might check back into it later, but right now, when you do that, the companies will be created inside of Highlevel, and all of the company associations with the contacts will be created. So right now, that's a good thing. But if you do have duplicate companies that aren't named the same, then that could be a problem. So please watch out for that. So getting back to the custom fields, we come here and go into our custom fields area. So here we're going to sit back and look at adding a field. Again, this is exactly the same thing that we're going to do before. We're going to add a single line field here. We're going to click next. Let's just call this entity type. Let's just say we might want to keep track of, if I could spell correctly here, entity type. So let's just say we want to keep track if it's an LLC, if it is a corp, a C corp, an S corp. I don't know. Maybe we want to keep track of the company's object information. But notice over here, if we take a look for the object, now we've got not only contact, opportunity, and vehicle, which again is a custom object. So all custom objects will show in this list as whatever the object name is, just to let you know. But here we're going to sit back and create company. Here we're going to sit back and choose the list. There's only one folder that's available, and that is a company info folder. So for this, we're going to go ahead and click save, just like anything else. And now what we have is a custom field that's created that will extend the schema for the company that allows you to include the entity type or whatever other information regarding the company that you actually want to have. So let's go ahead and quickly take a look at your folders. If we come back here and take a look at company and go into this, we now see that there is, if we go to the next screen, we see that there's now an entity type that's just text that you can now use inside of companies. But this is all good, right? This is good. Now you can extend, now you can add custom fields into the company record. But now I'm going to have to start talking about something that's bad. I'm going to have to start saying the negative part right here, at least for right now. I'm sure Highlevel will fix this, but I want to create this video just to show you this new feature, how it works, but also to include a problem that you're going to have right now until Highlevel actually fixes this. And this is, how do you update that custom field inside of Highlevel? So let me show you what I mean by that. So here, if I come back here to the company area and we click on add company, now notice over here, if we scroll, where is the entity type field? There is no entity type, but however, if we take a look here, notice here on the column matches for the company, phone, email, notice that we do have an entity type right here. So the custom field was added and was attached to the company record. But the problem is right now that there are no forms that are built into Highlevel that will automatically add the custom field to that form to allow you to edit it or add it. So right now, again, if you take a look, there's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So these are the 10 fields that are here by default. And this is something that I have already brought up to Highlevel support. And again, that's just one of those things they're going to have to be working on. But right now, adding custom fields will have to be included in the form eventually, because right now there has to be a way of adding the value here for the custom fields inside of the forms for adding a new company here. And even at the contact level, let's take a look. So right now we're going to come here and go to company, click here. And this is just another view. This is another kind of form that pops up for the custom fields. But notice all we have are the standard 10. We do not have the additional custom field here. So right now, if you want to start using custom field, I would recommend go ahead and start creating them. Go ahead and start adding the folders. Go ahead and do everything that you would normally do with custom fields regarding a specific object. But right now, the only way that you're going to be able to update that is through some form of a workflow that can then go through and add that custom field into and populate it through a workflow or something like that, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to edit it directly, is to be able to do that. So again, right now I have brought that up to GoHighLevel support, that this is the way it is. And they're like, this is a new feature. I know currently, actually, this feature is still in labs. If we come here and take a look at the labs for this, scroll all the way down, I had to turn this feature on here. So right now, this looks like it's live in 20 days. And for this one, so we still have a little bit of time. It'll probably be the first week or so of February 2025 before this is out. Hopefully, would have included adding these custom fields to the forms, both here in the company and in the contact view. So that right there is just really how you can extend the custom fields to include companies. It is a great feature. Highlevel is continuing to just add more and more value to these custom fields so that you can store more and more data regarding the objects inside of Highlevel, actually in Highlevel, and be able to trigger workflows or other automations based upon those custom fields, because the workflows will have access to those custom fields and be able to execute as a result of whatever is in that particular field, whatever data is in that field. So I hope you found this video useful. If you did, click on the like button, click subscribe. I always appreciate your support. Thank you so much for everything, and you guys have a great night. Bye-bye, guys.